1. Fallen armed forces continue to fall back from all active fronts across Terra. Factions of House Dusk remain active in the European Dead Zone. Throughout the rest of the globe, refugee attack incidents have dropped by more than 70% since the conclusion of the Red War, largely attributable to depressed fallen and human populations rather than any significant change in interspecies relations. 2. In absence of any united leadership, House Dusk continues to splinter and radicalize. The recent trending emergence of so-called crime syndicates, confer report number 004-Fallen-SIV, is emblematic of the continuing destructuralization of fallen society. Likely an artifact of multi-generational colonization of human strongholds, this agent believes that because these syndicates have no relation to indigenous fallen culture, young fallen are appropriating and imitating human mythology in absence of a strong cultural heritage of their own. Much like the dissolution of the Kel Archon theology, this is positive news for those interested in the complete extirpation of invasive fallen from the system. 3. That being said, we should continue to monitor reunification efforts. Several personalities have emerged as potential leaders. First, the would-be integrationists. VIP 1121, well known to Guardians of the Inner System as Verix or Verix the Loyal, directly responsible for the release of the murderer, Uldren Sov, from the Prison of Elders. 1121 subsequently fled Awoken Holdings in the Reef, and now styles himself the Kel of Kels, still representing House of Judgment. The Praxic Order has petitioned the Vanguard for permission to detain 1121. The Awoken Monarchy, acting through the Queen's Wrath, has claimed jurisdiction over 1121 and further stated that any prosecution in absence of their involvement would be considered an act of war. The Vanguard has not yet made a statement about their position on the issue. VIP 3987, another former Confederate of the Awoken, is a lesser-known personality known as Mithrax. Scattered field reports suggest that, like 1121, 3987 styles himself as a Kel of the so-called House Light, an otherwise unknown house apparently founded by 3987 himself. We have second-hand accounts that Mithrax has engaged in allied operations with Guardians in the field, though we have not as yet been able to corroborate these accounts with any degree of veracity. This agent is inclined to treat these reports with a healthy degree of skepticism until otherwise confirmed, as they may be propaganda from fallen sympathizers in the old Russian and Red War Guardian cohorts. We have requested intelligence records from the Awoken, which may further clarify the matter. In addition, whatever the findings of said intelligence records may be, it should be stressed that one or two sympathetic outliers cannot be relied upon to ease the wrongs of past centuries, nor should their good faith efforts to correct the sins of their forebears be taken as sufficient symbolic reparation. Second, the would-be separatists. VIP 4503, a recent personality known as Vigral, or the Fanatic, a close confederate of the murderer Uldren Sov. 4503 has the apparent ability to raise himself from the dead in a manner not dissimilar to ghost-aided resurrection. Though his reign on the Tangled Shore was limited, he possesses sufficient skill, hatred, and motive to warrant ongoing surveillance. Given 4503's propensity for resurrection, the inherent risk of 4503 reclaiming the body of the murderer Uldren Sov from his final resting place in the Dreaming City goes without saying. The Vanguard continues to deploy fire teams to suppress 4503. Our agents have reached out to the Cryptarchy and Jensum Scribes to request guidance as to his permanent destruction. VIP 2029, a once-known personality known as Aramis, or Aramis the Ship Stealer, a House Devil's Baroness incarcerated during the Wolf Wars. 2029 successfully fled the Prison of Elders during the mass escape orchestrated by 1121. 2029 is a classical fallen pirate of the old ways, vicious, uncompromising, and possessing cunning of the highest degree. Field reports indicate that she is rallying violent dissidents to reconstruct House Devils from the ground up. This agent believes her to be the most viable candidate for universal fallen reunification, and would urge the Vanguard and other interested leadership to aggressively prioritize her destruction. We have come too far to pull our punches now. Fallen presence on RZ-724, confer Nilfheim, has surged since the lunar incident. There is no clear indication of a cause beyond increased enemy activity since the incident. Reports indicate the presence of a highly dangerous artifact or entity on RZ-724. But all primary source field reports are so heavily corrupted as to be useless for investigation. Confer report number 324-ANOM/AICOM. As Extra Reef territory, RZ-724 has been historically considered an NFZ. Until the Dreaming City crisis, viable inbound flight paths were strictly controlled by the Awoken. Their misfortune has opened new horizons for our intelligence efforts. Further, if the Awoken are aware of the Fallen activity, they have yet to act, and we cannot rely on the initiative of unpredictable allies. The faction swarming RZ-724 is led by VIP 2029, with a contingent of other Fallen VIPs, 5340, 5341, and 5342. The unnamed faction appears to be an amalgamation of former House Devils, House Wolves, and House Dusk members, though VIP 2029 seems to have unexpectedly abandoned the banner of House Devils. Unverifiable reports indicate that VIP 1121 is among the group, though whether as a co-conspirator or a prisoner, this agent does not know. I am recommending immediate action. Several well-outfitted fire teams should be sent to RZ-724 for further reconnaissance and retaliation. This may take resources away from current containment efforts on afflicted planets, but swift action will stop a Fallen insurrection before it happens. Whatever is buried on RZ-724 must be kept out of enemy hands at all costs.